Alrighty, friends. Welcome to week 2 of the BGL Team Work-Life Balance Challenge. This week we are talking all about time boundaries when it comes to this work-life balance that we're working on in the next couple of weeks. So as we talked about last week, work-life balance is more of a cycle than it is an end destination. And another thing to keep in mind is work-life balance is also dynamic. So we have a lot of opportunities when it comes to working from home and remote work, as the majority of us are mostly remote on this team. It gives us a fantastic opportunity because we can place boundaries and physical barriers to our working environment. But on the other hand, it also gives us a special challenge. A 2021 study from Owl Lab showed that 55% of the respondents that were remote workers reported working more hours from home than they do from the office. So it's a special challenge, but a really fantastic opportunity that we have to work on this work-life balance. And so today I just wanted to outline some simple things to keep in mind when it comes to time barriers specific, when it comes to the special challenge of remote working and work-life balance. So let me move my face here a little bit. Okay. So number one is to let go of the myth. It is impossible to be 100% present at work or in your personal life. So instead of working for perfection, really striving for work-life integration instead. Know yourself, know your strengths and the areas that you may be lacking when it comes to this area, and reframe your idea of work-life balance, continuing to view it as a dynamic cycle. So going back to what we talked about last week, in it being more of a cycle and less of a destination, and really striving for more of an integration rather than for perfection. Number 2, get to what matters most. So to determine what the ideal work-life integration looks like for you, and to do this, you really want to keep in mind what things matter most. So the things that keep you going each day and each week, whether that's a yoga class or making sure you get to your kids' sports games, stuff like that, those types of things will sustain you both in life and in your career. So make a list of what matters most and really ask yourself, like, what are my non-negotiables? And for every single person, this is going to be different. And it really can just be like a scratch list of what things are the most important to you, but write it down, get it down on a piece of paper and really think about it. Next is to be connected, but to set limits. And in order to do this, one tactic, there are a lot of different ways that you can do this, but one tactic is to vary your response times. So allow yourself to respond at different times to different people so that they come accustomed to knowing that you will respond, but not necessarily expecting an immediate response every single time. Some problems require a more immediate response than others. That's just the truth of the matter. And when you give somebody a timeline for something, that gives them an expectation on when to expect a response. But if it's a non-immediate, non-emergent issue, it's okay to vary your response times a little bit so that you're conveying the message that you do not need to be available immediately for every single thing. Guarding your downtime, so really finding time to rest, restore, and unplug. Schedule your downtime and ensure that nothing infringes upon it. A hard stop from work gives your brain and your body a time to come back down. One thing that I've been trying, and I'm very new to the game here, so Rachel knows, doing like a breath work at the end of my workday really helps me to calm my system and bring me back down to earth. Because while I don't find my job particularly stressful most of the time, I am on all day long. So bringing myself back down with whatever small practice that may be allows you to have a hard stop. And then mini digital detoxes can be helpful for this as well. And we did do a social media detox last week, but you're welcome to integrate that into regular life as a way to guard your downtime in the future. Don't stress about your work-life balance. Over here, this is me stressing about making sure that I do my breathwork practice. Try to take the pressure off. So adding another thing to your never-ending to-do list isn't really going to help you achieve a state of balance. Remember, work-life perfection does not exist. Strive for work-life integration instead. It'll make it seem a whole lot more easier. Set up a designated workspace. So you need to set up healthy boundaries for yourself. So designating a quiet area of your living space just for working, and this is specific to remote team members. I know that some of us are not remote all the time, but a good chunk of us are primarily remote. So just setting up a quiet area in your living space, this allows you to shift your mind in and out of work mode. And it really doesn't have to be a whole room, but doing things like using headphones or having like your desk in one area that you usually use to work from that area can certainly help you to have that designated workspace. Number 7 is following a set schedule, and this will be part of our action items for this week. So giving yourself a schedule and really sticking to it. Try and start your workday at the same time or around the same time every day, not waking up too early or too late. Make sure you take a lunch break. Schedule it in if you have to. If you find yourself running away with meetings all day, schedule a time for a lunch break. And when you've determined that the end of your workday has come, turn off your computer as a way to kind of add some finality to that day. So that's all I got for you guys. Just a couple of easy things. Our action items for this week are as follows. So I want you to set and implement a sign-off time every single day this week, and this will earn you 3 points per day. So this is a big one. Of course, your first task is going to be to set that time, and then furthermore, you're going to want to try and implement that. So every single day that you can implement that sign-off time, you get 3 points. Incorporate 2 1-minute movement stacks to your day. And Ben talks about this a lot as a way to like hack your workspace or hack your work from home. These are just small movements, and they don't have to be complicated. I'm going to post a thread in the Slack channel that has a variety of different examples for movement snacks. But really, you can do anything that keeps you moving. Set a timer for 1 minute and complete those movement snacks. And I want you to complete 2 in a day in order to earn 3 points for this action item for that day. And then the last 3 are our typical ones. So at least 10,000 steps per weekday gets you 1 point per day. Watching this video, week 2, that gets you 1 point. And then submitting your weekly survey, which I will send out on Monday for the past week, will get you 1 point as well. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the Slack channel.